Hello.
What's going on, y'all?
It is me. I am she, the light of the Leo. This is my wonderful brother, JoJo Speaks. He made me watch Young Royals. Am I happy about it? Candy.
No, you're not happy about
Okay,
it.
I'm not. Okay.
Happy is a stretch.
It is a stretch.
Happy? No, you're not happy about
It is, I can say it's kind of cool to have a Swedish experience.
it.
So that's different.
I will say a lot of times when people are reacting to the show, people want to hear the Swedish translation of it. And I understand that because they put so much emotion behind their words, especially when they say the word me. When they say meh, it's I just love like August says it the most. He says meh. Yeah, I love it.
That August. Anywho, why don't we just go ahead and get things started? What was I supposed to say, Jonathan?
Won't you join us?
Let's get this review started. Won't you join us?
Yes. All right. So we're starting with episode 4. So at the end of episode 3, we learned that the crown prince, young Wilhelm's brother Eric, passed away in a terrible car crash. We knew that he was a daredevil. We knew that he loved the fast cars, and unfortunately, it was his demise. So we start
Mm,
out with Wilhelm walking into this church, seeing the coffin and laying his head on the coffin. This is clearly something that has hit Wilhelm, excuse me, like a
certainly.
ton of bricks. Wilhelm is taking this very hard. What do you think is going through Wilhelm's mind in this moment? How do you think this is affecting him? How do you think this will affect him going forward?
It's his brother. It's somebody that understood him and the person that he would run to for advice, the person that would keep it real with him, the person that was just a family member, not just a crown prince to him. And so I understand the weight of this death on him. I'm pretty sure that he's not even thinking about the fact that he's going to be the crown prince now.
I don't think it's even crossed his
He's
mind.
not even there at this moment. He just wants his brother. And
Right.
it's sad. I hated that happened. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, but to move the plot along, it kind of had to happen. And for him to be a gay prince and for him to have to be the crown prince, and that gives us so many issues because he's going to need an heir. They're going to want to have an heir. And with him being of the gay persuasion, we don't see how that's going to happen.
We can figure that out just fine. We know
We
how babies are
can,
made.
right, exactly. There are other avenues that we can take. We can definitely have
Let's
an
use
heir.
science.
Right, exactly.
Okay,
Another
because
question on what
they just gonna gosh, because for all we know we could just choose somebody. They would have just chosen a wife for him in the first place. We just choose a baby mama. Okay,
mhm,
just let you know, hey sis, you ain't gonna have no real ties to this person.
right.
But it's gonna have the blood of the prince in them. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that. Or we pay you real good, and just you can be seen as the mother of this child, but you'll never be anybody of nobility, and she'll be good.
And I'd like to spark your interest. There could also be a backup plan.
Hmm. Hmm.
If you know the way that royalty works, you know that if for some reason the king or if the
Ipso
king
facto.
dies, it
Hmm.
goes to the brother or the sister. And so yeah, that's another option.
You think August gonna try to get in there? This. Okay.
So, another
All
question I want
right.
to ask you about Eric before we move forward. Do you think Eric, I think I might have asked you this question in the last episode, but I'll ask you again. Do you think Eric knew about Wilhelm's sexuality? If he did or did not know, if Wilhelm were to come out to him before his demise, do you think Eric would have been supportive?
You asked me the first part on the last one, but you didn't ask me this part.
Hmm.
Would he have been? I think he would have been supportive.
Agreed. I do. I do think he would have been supportive as well. So Wilhelm returns to the school. They're having a ceremony. All the students are lined up. Wilhelm and August have a moment where they touch foreheads, like they care about each other. I didn't know what that was all about.
Well, he
That
was my friend too.
Right. And then Felisa, who's standing right next to August, she gives Wilhelm a very thoughtful hug.
Oh, she hugs him, honey.
She hugs Wilhelm real
Oh,
tight.
way.
August got in his feelings, honey. August was put his hand on Felisa's back and was asked to say, that's enough, honey. You know what I'm saying? That's enough hugging. We've consulted him quite a bit now, Felice. That's enough. You can let go of the man now. What did
He
you
is the epitome of insecurity.
absolutely?
I can't stand him.
Absolutely. So we then are serenaded by the choir and Simone. Simone does this solo, and this solo kind of rubbed me the wrong way in a way. Here's why. The lyrics to the song that he was singing sounds as if he was speaking about a long lost lover, a lover who has died. So therefore, the context of the song in this moment kind of hit me a little bit differently. I
Hmm.
thought it was inappropriate in a way. What did you think of the song choice in this
I thought it was fine.
moment?
When you think about songs or whatever, you really can add your own interpretation of it.
Right.
And at the end of the day, there's a big chance them kids didn't even choose a song.
Of course they didn't. And the song was somewhat accurate. The lyrics, you want to be remembered. I'll write you in history, baby. So,
Hmm.
it kind of sort of makes sense. So, anyways, Wilhelm has to make a speech. And this is the first time that we see Wilhelm making a speech, in where he has words. Well, no, because he didn't make a speech in the first episode with his family on that couch, and now he will
Exactly.
be going. Yeah, so this is not something that is new to him. But he looks down at the speech and he says the first couple of lines, and then he throws away the speech and speaks on his own terms, saying that this is hitting him really hard, and that also he wishes it was him that died instead. What did you think
Mhm.
of his speech and how he's dealing with his emotions in this moment?
It's all par for the course. That's it's sad, but it just is what it is. And I think what's added on top of it is this task that he has to be the crown prince. So mm, it sucks.
Absolutely. We also see a
We
scene where
both yawning.
I know, right? We also see a scene where William is having dinner with his parents. His mother, who is the queen, she's letting him know what her expectations of him are. She even brings up the idea of an heir to him as well, saying that you'll have to live up to what Eric was able to bring to the table. You'll have to live up to that. No more f ups, Wilhelm. We can't have any more fights. We can't have any more screw ups. We can't you can't put the royal family's name in jeopardy. People are looking at you. There are expectations, my young son. Do you
And
think
in the
Wilhelm can handle all of this in this moment? Do you
in
think
in the midst of her saying all this stuff, I do need to make sure I say she she really did well with the acting portion, because not only does she have to say all these things to her son that have been left behind by his brother, but she's also dealing with the fact that she's lost a son as well.
right? She's so
It's
strong in this moment.
sh- but but you can see she's on the verge. You can
Yeah,
see that you can see that of course this is affecting her. She's not a cold-hearted queen. She
yeah,
is certainly affected by this. And I was just thinking, like, it's such a small table. Ain't they supposed to be kings and queens? Why is this table so small?
right.
Um,
But she's doing what has to be done. She knows what
Absolutely.
she has to do and she's doing it, and I appreciate that.
And this is when I came to realize that it was her that was the royal, not her husband.
Right, she's the queen.
She's
Yes,
yeah,
much
so
like Queen Elizabeth.
yeah, so I really this part was kind of sobering. It's like it's just what you have to deal with as a royal. You
Right,
have to be a part of this particular life, whether you desire to have it or not, and you got to do right. Mistakes, yes, you're a child. People make mistakes, but you cannot. You just cannot. It just can't be that. You have to cover yourself, and then of course, him getting the security detail that he never had. Now that he's the crown prince, he has a security detail and all that stuff like this. I felt sorry for him, Excuse me. And even sorry for the family. The death was horrible, man. It messed with me.
We really felt the weight of his death. They really showcased that very well in this show for sure. And the impact that it's having on everyone. They're showing the whole school was reacting to it. They showed the
Oh
whole
yeah.
school was crying. They showed Simone texting Wilhelm, asking him if he was okay. He's watching the funeral on the TV. Then afterwards, after the funeral, Wilhelm and Simone are in this room by themselves, in the same room where Wilhelm made that speech. And Wilhelm tells Simone to delete all of their text messages, and he says that he can't do this anymore. Now, this is the second time that Wilhelm has attempted to forget about Simone, attempted to, I don't want to say throw him away because that sounds really bad, but attempting to separate himself from Simone. What
Yeah,
do you
that's
think
good.
of in this moment? Why do you think that Wilhelm asked him to delete those text messages? And how is it that you think this is going to affect Simone in this moment?
I think he wanted him to delete the text messages just in case anybody finds it.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
just for his protection as the now new crown prince.
right,
And he, as any teenager would think, he thinks that the easiest thing to do is just let it go.
right.
The best way to take care of it is to let it go. But you just got to realize when there's love within you, you can't just ignore that. Just like what Kim says, when love calls, you there's nowhere to run.
Yes,
And he was trying to run, but once again, just like Kim says, there's nowhere to run. So, yeah, this is why it's difficult for me to watch teenager stuff because they deal with teenagers' angst and issues.
they're so
But it makes
indecisive.
sense.
They
Yes.
can't make a decision to
And it
save
makes
their
sense
lives.
because even me as a teenager, I didn't know what I want. I was
Mhm.
acting just like these people.
Right.
Um, but like I'm the person I don't even want to have teenagers up in my movie theater. I'd rather go to a movie at Saturday in the afternoon or the
Mhm.
morning, just so I can watch a movie so I can avoid the teenagers. And I was that. I can always say I was that, and now it's like, which is why I would never go back to that space in my life. But he he's doing what he thought is right. And I bet you some of him thought he'd be protecting him as well, protecting
Right.
Simone as well,
Mhm.
and doing that. I wish it would have, I think it would have made sense to explain just a little bit more
Right.
why it has to be done instead of just cutting off and not giving an explanation.
And just walking out the room saying he can't do this anymore.
But
Yeah.
that's what adults do.
It was a
Adults would
little
give
cold.
context.
It was a little
Yeah.
cold.
But, sometimes people think that if I'm cold, they'll, forget about me faster. But
Right.
you can't even stop thinking about the boy. Anyway, go ahead, Jonathan.
So then we later see Wilhelm struggling again, and he decides he wants to delete Simone's number.
Hmm.
And we see that he does delete Simone's number. Then we see Felice and her English speaking friend. What is her name, Jennifer?
Stella?
Stella. So we see them under a bridge, and they're doing some wellness exercises. And Wilhelm walks upon them, and Felice goes to comfort Wilhelm, and he asks if he can join in. And
I
so they
think they were
join.
doing affirmations.
Yes, they were doing affirmations. Yes,
And
um,
then didn't they have like a candle down there and stuff like that?
it seems like they did.
It
It
was
seems
more than just a little wellness. They were trying to do a little hoodoo. Go
right.
ahead.
It was very spiritual for sure. Very much
Hmm.
so spiritual. And so I thought that was a really nice thing for them to do. I'm loving the fact that Felice has not let the fact that Willem is not interested in her in that way get to her. I'm
They
glad
can
that
still
she
be friends. I
right.
appreciate that. That's
Exactly.
that's good.
And their friendship grows in the second season. They're so much closer in the second season, and you'll love it even more in the second season. But yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens with them. And so then we see August and Felice doing the do.
Once
They're
again, y'all Swedish people, they just put anything on TV, huh?
right. So August is putting in work. Okay, he tells her not to squeeze. Don't squeeze because that'll make me finish a little quicker. Please don't, because apparently Felice got the good snatch. Okay, she got the
Well,
good.
I want to make sure every woman knows, your snatch is good. Work on your Kegels. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, a lot of the squeezing that we do can sometimes be involuntarily. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we don't always do it on, don't always do it on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Whoops.
And so Felice is enjoying herself, and then she closes her eyes. And August notices that she closed her eyes.
Oh Jesus!
And
Help
August
us.
August says, you close your eyes. And she was like, what? No, 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 I didn't. No, and good and darn well she did. And he was like, so you're thinking about somebody else, aren't you?
Oh.
And she was like, oh, August. He was like, it's Willem, isn't it? It's Willem. You're
Oh.
thinking about
I'm
Willem.
sorry. Go ahead and tell the story. Let me shut up.
Child, his insecurities are so blatant in this
And
in this
and
moment.
incredibly unattractive.
And it makes
Is
you not want to deal with him. Like, why would, like, I came to you for this. I'm giving you the good. I'm giving you the best that I got. Come on, Anita
okay.
Baker.
Okay.
Okay. Regardless of how it is that you're getting it, you're inside, honey. You hitting it from the back, honey. You getting in it, honey. And you still have time to complain.
And here's the thing. There's one thing to know about women's, Jonathan. I
Hmm.
don't know if everybody
Let
knows
me
this
know,
about
because I
women's.
may be unaware.
When it comes to reaching orgasm, just like you may have seen people joke about it, it's like putting together a Tetris thing. It's like getting, one of those thingies together. Let me tell you something. We have to concentrate. Now, whether she was thinking about Willem or not, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we have
We
to
know
get.
that was the truth now. We know that's what she was doing now.
But either way, even if she was thinking about August, I would still would have been closed my eyes. I close my eyes just so I can make sure that I'm getting there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not concentrating. Well, my concentration. Oh, why am I talking about this?
Because it's true to you.
My concentration goes to the feelings that I'm feeling,
Mm.
so that they can, grow and stuff like that. And some people need to think about other people. I mean, hey, do you, boo boo? But us girls, we gotta concentrate. It's not easy to get that going.
Right. So then in the next scene, we see Felice and August walking into this atrium, arm in arm. And Felice's friends are like, what is this? What is going on here, girl? Why are you arm in arm with the douchebag of the entire school,
So
girl? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
you don't like him.
Do you enjoy Felice's friends in this moment, holding her accountable to what she's doing and not understanding why she's doing this, knowing that this is not the best move for her?
Not only just not the best move, it's like we know you don't want him. We know who you really want.
Exactly. They know her.
It's like, I don't know. For me, I think I would be like, what is going on? But me now is like, girl, do you enjoy yourself? you know?
Right. You like
But
it, I love it.
okay, holding her accountable in this space, I don't believe it's totally necessary, but it is weird.
Weird in what way?
Weird that she got with him just because
Oh,
he like
okay.
her.
Yeah, yeah, that is very
But
true.
but I get it though. It's somebody.
Yes, yes, it absolutely is. And so now I feel like I'm forgetting. I feel like I'm forgetting something. So in this next scene, we have Felice. I think I might be skipping around a little bit. But in this next scene, we have Felice coming back into her room. And then what's her friend's name again? I keep forgetting her friend's
Sarah. I
name.
mean Stella.
Stella. Stella says he refused to leave, and then the camera pans over to
Oh
August,
girl.
and August is in her room, and Felice has on Wilhelm's coat. He allowed her to borrow the coat when they met outside doing those affirmations and spiritual stuff outside earlier in that day. And August is like, "You're wearing his coat. Why are you wearing his coat? What have you been doing with this man?" You cheating on you cheating on me? He didn't ask her that, but he's so insecure, y'all. He is so insecure. What are you thinking of August in this moment? Is he just too much for you to handle, honey? Because it looks like you about to have a nervous breakdown.
It's not even about a nervous breakdown. It's about this is just so annoying. It's like why put yourself through all of this rigmarole? Why put yourself through all this? Oh, do you want me? Do you not want me? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just annoying beyond annoying. I don't. A part of me truly feels like people with insecurity, because I even have insecurities for myself, but I acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
those insecurities, and I know how I sound when I do that. I just try to work through them and stuff like that. Cause I certainly have an insecurity, like so people actually like me.
Right.
I don't know what happened with that. But for him to do that, and there are people that do that. They continuously question the person that they're in a relationship with, and it's like
Not that they're actually in a relationship to begin with, but go ahead.
true. But they continuously question people and stuff like that, or where does your loyalties lie? As soon as I see something that just looks a little cross, I'm like, hold on, what's the problem? It's
Right.
like, do you even see yourself? Do you hear yourself? And it's like, it's just annoying beyond annoying.
Right. So August goes on to tell Felice, why were you comforting Wilhelm? You should have been comforting
His whole brother died. Are
me.
you kidding me?
No, you're supposed to be
He's my
comforting
friend.
me. He was my friend. You should have been comforting me.
It was his brother.
He was like a brother to me. He was
He
like
was
my
his brother.
brother
That's what I said in the
too.
moment when I was watching it. He was his
Right.
brother. What are you talking?
So, Felice's good English speaking friend says in English, dump him. Dump. Truer words have never
So I'm
been
guessing that
spoken.
Felice knows English and Swedish.
She clearly does because her friend has been speaking English this entire season. She's been speaking like a little bit of Swedish, but she mainly speaks English during the show. And I enjoy that. I enjoy the fact that these kids are bilingual at such a young age. And it seems like it's not really something that they can choose. It seems like it's something that is a requirement for them to know different languages.
Mm-hmm.
Simone's family is a Spanish speaking family. They've been speaking
Mm-hmm.
Spanish this entire time. So yeah, I love the bilingualness in this show. It's really interesting, and eye opening as well.
Mm-hmm.
I always look up to people who can speak different languages because for you to be able to speak an entirely different language and know all the words, I give you props on that. So in this next scene, Sarah is in the stables and she's, cleaning up the stables, probably Russo's stable. Okay, her horse. Okay. And August walks in. And August asks Sarah about Felice, wondering
Wait,
if
I think there a scene with Sarah and Felice, and I think Sarah asking Felice, "Are you still mad at me?" or something like that.
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they talked because this was after that thing, and she was sad. She was upset about her.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Do you remember where they were when this scene
It was
happened?
like the bus stop. Felice went to the bus stop
Yeah,
with her.
this happened after the scene in the stable.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. So August comes into the stable to ask Sarah about Felice and what she's been doing with Wilhelm. If she's been hanging out with Wilhelm, he wants to get the information. And she's like, shoot, I don't know. Ask Felice. I mean, I'm not her keeper. That's not my sister, honey. Like, go mind your own business. And then August says to Sarah, has anybody told you how pretty you are? Has anybody told you how fine you are? And Sarah's like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
What are we doing here?
And then August proceeds to kiss Sarah. And Sarah laughs in his face. She doesn't know what to do in this moment. She doesn't know how to react. And she laughs in his face. And then he goes to kiss her again. What do you think are August's intentions in
You
this
know
moment?
exactly what August's intentions are. Okay, he is literal trash.
Yeah, he's trying to get in between Felice and Sarah. He's trying to make Felice jealous, obviously, and that's going to turn around in the
I
next
really
episode.
hope that it turns out the way I needed to turn out.
How do you want it to turn out? Let me ask you that before I proceed.
I will just say like the Americanized version. Okay, I never liked you in the first place. All right, bye.
Can I tell you, is that's not the way it's going to turn out?
I'm sure it ain't the way it turned out, but that's what I
No.
want.
That's not the way it's going to turn out. So, as Jennifer said, in this next scene, Felice and Sarah meet up at the bus stop. And Sarah asks Felice, she's still mad at her because Sarah kind of put Felice on Front Street in front of her parents on the last episode about Russo and the fact that Felice is not interested in riding Russo. She has no interest in that horse. She don't
Russo's
like
a
the horse.
horse.
Okay. And so Sarah's like, I want us to be friends. I want us to be good. And Felice then obliges and they hug. How are you liking their friendship? And they've had a lot of ups and downs so
I
far.
like it a lot. None of this was easy. To be honest, I think for Sarah, the whole friendship stuff just ain't easy, period. Because, due to her Asperger's, she doesn't
Connect.
really it yeah, not just connect, but she also keeps it very black and white. And
Right.
sometimes people need a little gray to be able to take people sometimes. But I like that about her.
Agreed. So August has an idea August is called actually by Wilhelm's mother, asking him to look out for Wilhelm. Make sure Wilhelm needs someone to lean on, and I want you to be able to be that person that Wilhelm can lean on. So August takes this role extremely seriously because when the Queen has called you and put this on you, you must do what the Queen says. So August wants to do another type of initiation into another type of group. I'm not sure exactly what the difference is between what they did in the
The
first
first one was
episode.
an initiation into the actual dorm.
Okay,
Okay.
this was another secret society.
This not another. This was the other one was the secret the one that he's doing now or being indoctrinated into now is the secret society. The
Yes,
other one is just, like, hey, you're living at the dorm now, so now we gotta
we got to
roast you.
initiate you.
Exactly. But
Gotcha.
now this secret society of the upper crust of whatever, that's what he's getting into now.
Right. And so in order to allow Willem to go out with a bang, he wants Willem to have a good time. He needs drugs in order to do so. So August is actually approached by Simone. Simone steals more drugs from his
His
father,
father. Mm-hmm.
so that he can get more money on top of the other money that August already owes him for not only the booze, but the first set of drugs that he got him. And so Simone says, "You're gonna sell these drugs for me? Sell them, or I will tell everyone that you're broke." Um,
And that got him together because he was saying no.
he was saying no. So, what do you think of Simone in this moment? Do you see strength in Simone? Do you see Simone taking ownership of his situation and trying to do the best that he can with the information that he has?
Yeah, he got to do what he got to do. He's got to
Mm-hmm.
get this money. People are asking for this money. He's not. He's basically been lied to and wronged by what's his name, August, or whatever, and he has to do what he has to do.
Right. We also saw earlier in this episode that the bill for his tutoring has come in, and his mother. Now he saw the bill in the previous episode, in the third episode, and he kind of hid it. But then his mother found it, and his
Mm-hmm.
mother's like, "What is this? How are we going to pay for this? Como? How are you going to pay for this? How are you going to pay for this?" So Simone is in need of some funds, and and so Simone tells August to sell these drugs. And so Wilhelm and August and the rest of the society, they meet up, and they have a drug binge where they take all these pills, they drink all these drinks. And then we have August and Wilhelm having a urination conversation. They're talking about where they are in life, how Wilhelm is dealing with the loss of his brother. Wilhelm is feeling he's feeling as though he shouldn't be partying. He's feeling as though he shouldn't be having a good time while his brother is now deceased. He's feeling bad for living his life now that his brother is gone. How are you feeling about Wilhelm in this moment, expressing truthfully how he feels to who could possibly be his arch nemesis?
When you're inebriated, you don't think about stuff like that.
Right. He feels guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then we see Wilhelm on the football field. Seems like it's the same football field where they had the soccer game that he went to
Yeah, it looks
with
like it.
Simone and
Yeah.
his friends. That's where it looks like he is. And he is clearly high out of his mind. He's punching different things. He's talking to these inanimate objects. He's high. He's just high.
He's like talking to the not football, but I guess soccer things or whatever, things that look like men. He's saying, "You're not real." Like he's a person. He got onto the grass. He said, "It's not real."
It's
The grass. And he's like, "None of this is real."
it's astroturf, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so in his state of inebriation, um, Simone gets a phone call. Now, how is it that you think that Wilhelm was able to call Simone when he very obviously deleted his number?
Mm. I don't think he did. He deleted the contact. Maybe he might still had a text message in there, and he can call through that.
I'm thinking he might have gotten it through his call log.
Mm.
Maybe he picked it up from there. But anyway, so Simone answers the phone, and Wilhelm, the first words out of his mouth were, "I like you.
Mm.
I like you." And Simone says in his Swedish terms, "Wille, is it du?" And I love what he said that. And so, anyways, and so he's like, Willem, what's going on? Where are you? And Willem is like, everything is fake. Everything is fake. Nothing is real. Everything is fake. In this inebriated state, he said everything is fake, but the feelings that I have for you are real. That's what's
Mm.
real. That is what's real. How sweet is this moment, Jennifer?
Very sweet. It's cute.
So Simone gets on his bike and he rides down to get his man off the football field.
Now that wasn't like it wasn't even like that. It was he was riding to go help a friend because he's apparent there's apparently something wrong. So it's like let me come get you because first of all you're not a crown prince. We can't have you out there looking all all inebriated all by yourself and people gonna come and say stuff about you. Let me just come and get you because apparently you're going through. How high are you? Okay, okay, go ahead.
Right. And we also find out, I'm sorry, I need to go back really quickly, because there's another thing that happened with Simone and his father. So his father has actually found out or realized that Simone has been stealing drugs from him. And his father is very worried that Simone is taking drugs himself because
Yeah,
apparently his father is known to be an addict. His father is addicted to something. And
yeah,
so his father is telling him, I don't take these drugs for pleasure. I don't take these drugs just to take them. I take them so that I can be sane. I take them so that I can be in my right mind. And Simone is like, well, what have you proven to us? You've proven that you've left your daughter. You've proven that you can't be trusted. This scene is so heavy.
yeah.
Were you feeling sadness in this moment?
Jonathan, the way you be asking these questions, look, no.
What?
Sadness for what?
Sadness for their relationship, the fact that they're not the father and son that you would love for them to be, these issues that they're having, and the fact that he's so scared that Simone is actually taking drugs when he's not.
For me, it's not that I long for a relationship for them, because I
Hmm.
certainly don't. Of course, we want
Why is
everybody to
that?
have a relationship. We want everybody to have a relationship with their father, but some relationships are not needed or warranted when there are situations or things that's keeping them from it. Like, as you remember, he said you chose alcohol, not your
Hmm.
family. You chose this and not your family. Like sometimes a relationship is not the answer in this space. So
Gotcha.
I don't I don't feel sad about it because when it's time, Okay, after Simone has had time, after Sarah has had time, after shoot, their mother has had time to kind of like wrestle with what has happened, has had some time to at least, maybe forgive him a little bit or whatever, or after he has been able to show his family that he's done better. That's when we start to get a process of yearning for a relationship. But right now, they're still in the thick of like we don't deal with him. Like with Sarah, no, we're not talking to him. No, don't talk to him. And he can't even tell Sarah that he talked to him. So
Right.
yeah, no, I'm not desiring a forced relationship.
Gotcha. I understand. I understand that now. So, with Wilhelm being in this state, how do you think this affects Simone and the fact that he probably had to deal with this with his father as well?
It's different because your father is someone that should know better.
And someone you have expectations for.
Exactly. For a kid that's, can be influenced by people around him
Hmm.
that may not even know the ramifications of getting into drugs like that. Yeah, it's kind of it's a lot easier to pity him and just say, okay, let me help you. Come on, let me get you up. But to have to do that to a not just an adult, but your father, that's a whole
Yeah.
other level of. Mm.
Right. Yeah. So Simone comes to the rescue. He comes to get Willem. He's opening his eyes. He's like, "What's? Are you high? Like, what's going on? Like, what are you doing?" And Willem is like, "You came. You came. I'm so glad you came." He asks him, "Are you mad at me?" And then he says, "You're so beautiful." And it's just real ushy gushy and mushy. It's all that it's all that good stuff. So Simone tries to get him onto the bike, and Wilhelm jumps onto Simone's back. And Simone is like, get off me. Come on, let's go. So the next scene we see Simone waking up in Wilhelm's dorm room. We're wondering like how did they get past security because we now know that Wilhelm actually has security, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming that they got back into the room through the window.
Through the
That's my
window.
guess that
Yep.
they got back through the window. And so Simone gets up, and he sees he's got a text message from Sarah. Sarah's asking Simone where has he been because he didn't come home from the previous evening, and so excuse me. And so Simone gets up to go home, and Wilhelm wakes up, and Wilhelm is like, "Don't go, don't go." Then he's like, could you hold me? And then Simone asks Wilhelm, "Are you okay? How are you doing?" And Wilhelm says he's doing fine. And then Wilhelm asks Simone, "Can you stay here with me until I fall asleep?" And so Simone obliges, and he goes to lay down. And they go to lay down together, touching hands or whatever. And so then Simone asks Wilhelm, "Do you remember what you said to me last night?" And then Wilhelm is obviously embarrassed by this question. Wilhelm is not one that is able to directly approach his feelings in a direct manner. He's not able to
Yes.
confront his feelings rather in a direct manner. And so when he's asked these real questions by Simone, remember in the last episode, he was like, "What happened to let's forget about it?" So Simone is asking these real questions because he wants to know what he's getting himself into. And so that's why I love Simone. And I think that's why he's my favorite character in the show, because he knows what he wants, and he knows how he wants to get it, but he wants to get it in the
Mm-hmm.
right way. And that's what I love about Simone. And so Wilhelm is kind of embarrassed by this question. And Simone says, "It's okay. It's okay. I like you too." And so then they get into getting into it. It's clear that they're going to take their relationship to the next level. And so they start to kiss and whatnot. And Simone actually grabs Wilhelm's behind. And I'm like, okay, that's the black thing right there. Like it's rare that I see like non-black people like doing the butt grabbing. That that's something that I see black men doing a lot. So that's just something that struck me. And so, anyways, next we see August walking up to Alexander's window, trying to get in touch with him.
Alexander,
Yeah, Alexander, isn't it Alexander?
who's that?
He's one of their room. He's one of the people that's in that society. Um,
Oh,
yes.
okay. Let me shut up. Go ahead.
And so he's texted. He's wondering where Alexander is, and we're going to find out in the next episode where Alexander ends up going and why he wasn't in his room and
Oh
why
yeah,
they
yeah,
lost
yeah,
track
yeah,
of him.
yeah.
And so then August texts Alexander. He doesn't get a response back, and two doors down is Willem's dorm room. And so August walks by the window. He peeks over and he sees Simone. And no, he sees Simone and Wilhelm in the bed getting it on. And he notices that it's Wilhelm. He hasn't noticed that it's Simone yet, but he knows it's Willem's room. So he knows Willem is in the bed getting busy with somebody. I'm not sure if he noticed that it was a man or not, but he noticed that Willem is getting busy with somebody. And so August has this great idea. He says, Crown Prince. Ooh, the Crown Prince getting into it. And he takes out his phone and he begins to record Wilhelm and Simone doing the do. And then Simone's face turns and he sees that it's Simone, and August is shocked. Um, what were your thoughts when the
I
camera pans to August outside of Alexander's window?
I
Did
saw
you
this
see
coming
this
from a mile
coming?
away because I saw
Yeah.
that the window was open the whole time. I
Hmm.
was like, I know what's about to happen. And when I saw August outside the door, I know exactly what's going to happen. So yeah, I was over it. Still over it.
Didn't you say you stopped? You stopped the recording. You stopped it.
No, yeah, actually, I stopped watching. I was like, oh my gosh, just threw the phone and kept it moving, pushing. It's like I can't, cause I already don't like August for who he
Mm-hmm.
is, and I can only imagine what he's going to do with this information in the future. So I just didn't want to know.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, it was a serious situation. So that was the end of episode 4. The next episode is episode 5, where things get
Episode 5
yes,
that
episode
comes after
5.
4. Okay.
Yes, it does, where things get a little bit more interesting. I'm already told Jennifer that I didn't really enjoy episode 6 that much, but we'll get to it when we get to it. You guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo_speaks3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is williamjonathanlee@gmail.com. I also have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is JoJo Speaks. Oh, I post live videos every Thursday night at 9:30 with hot topics and social commentary. We'll be getting into a lot of politics on this Thursday. There's a lot to talk about. So join us on YouTube, JoJo Speaks, 9:30 p.m. sharp on Thursday night. Join us,
Mhm.
y'all.
Yes, and of course, I am the Light of the Leo. Go ahead and follow me here at YouTube at the Light of the Leo, and of course, for Instagram as well as TikTok, you'll find me at the Light of the Leo for both. So just go ahead and follow me, stay with me, whatever, like that, all that good stuff. So another episode, Jonathan. This better get better, dagnabbit.
I'm telling you, don't get your hopes up until season 2. You're gonna have to hold out.
It's
You are
hard to
going.
watch, Jonathan.
I know. I know.
It's
Thank you for.
hard.
I appreciate your sacrifice, Jennifer. I know that this is a lot.
You're welcome. I'll do my best to stay as strong as possible.
Please do. I know you can. It'll all be worth it when season 2 comes. Although I will say season 2 is not perfect, but I will say it's better than season 1. But
Okay.
there's a lot of like going around in circles. But that's how teenagers do. That's how they operate.
Teenagers.
So, but season 2 is definitely a lot better.
Alrighty. I believe you and I get you. But y'all, thank you so much for joining us on this spoilery review of Young Royals. Y'all come back and see the rest of them. If you see that you're here at episode 4, you can look at episode 1 through 4 or more because we're going to continue to put these things out until we're done with the end of the second season or whatever they have. Anywho, y'all have a lovely day. Love y'all. Bye
Bye,
bye.
y'all.